So this is an interesting treatment that often works really well, is just to treat fine lines. Now you must use a good product for this. If you use a thick product, then you see the filler. So this is Juvederm Volbella, and we're just going to put a tiny little line of product directly in this crease here. Which is hard to get rid of with toxin, because some of that muscle movement comes from the zygomaticus major, and the crease itself is quite a long way away from a Biculosaurus. So we'll just put a little line straight under there. Very superficial, we're just in the dermis. The dermis is very thin though. So we're edging in, see the path of the needle. No blanching at rest, a little bit of blanching when you lift off. That's the right depth. And with a nice product, this is easy to blend in. I would never treat the lower eyelid with this type of filler. It's way too thin. It's good for cheek and lateral canthus. So nasolabial fold injection. There are essentially three levels at which you can treat the nasolabial fold. We can go deep onto the periosteum and project the deepest part of the shadow anteriorly, which is what we're going to do first. Then you can fill the fat layer in between, but we only do that with a cannula because that's often where the artery is at that level. And then last of all, you can superficially treat the crease if there is a crease. So we're going to do 2 levels today, I think. Probably the alar base injection to project anteriorly, and then we'll do the crease on top. So this injection is very important that you think about your angles, and the angle of your needle affects the proximity you're likely to get to the important arteries around here. So we have the infraorbital artery first, and we have the facial artery. Infraorbital artery is usually parallel with the mid-pupillary line. You could often feel the foramen. That's worth doing. And then usually just medial to that, but lateral to the actual crease. Mostly the facial artery runs in the cheek fat pad here. And so if we're medial to it and the needle is pointing away from it, we should be safe. Similarly with the infraorbital artery, we want to be pointing, if in any direction, either neutral or slightly inferior. So think about your angle of entry as, the more I do this, the more risky it gets. The more I go lateral, the more risky it gets. So I need to be in the nasolabial fold, but pointing in directions that don't cause those unnecessary risks. So approximately 90 degrees, because I'm entering, so 90 degrees to the nose, 45 degrees to the surface of the skin, and that should land me in the prezygomatic space at a position where there is no artery. So slide in nice and slowly, kiss the bone, then we aspirate. Give that a second to validate, and then we can slowly start injecting, looking for that response. And there is a nerve here, so it does tend to be a bit sensitive. then a little mold, shaping it. So I'm picturing infraorbital artery, angular artery, lateral nasal artery, superior labial artery, and facial artery in my mind's eye. And what I see clearly, at least in my mind's eye, is a clear path to avoid those. Touch the periosteum with the angle I'm in. It's very important also not to hover above the periosteum when you're injecting. New injectors often feel safer when they're not touching the bone, which is not the right way. So now we're going to do superficial crease. Now this is significantly more superficial than where the artery should be. Just edge in and stay in the superficial hypodermis. You can see how that crease unfolds quite easily, which is very promising. Good prognostic sign with the needle underneath it. Aspirate and then a little line, usually 0.05. I'm just going to go slightly more superficial for another little wet pass. So there are actually 2 injections there and stacked on top of each other. Noses, obviously, they are risky areas, but the biggest risk is actually above halfway. So from the glabella up comes from the internal carotid, whereas most of the blood supply where we're going to inject is actually from the external carotid blood supply from the facial artery and the lateral nasal artery, which means if we did have a problem, it should be localized. And obviously what we worry about the most is blindness, or even worse, a stroke, which is really, really almost incredibly rare and almost impossible with the amount of product we use, but it's on the list. So it's reassuring to know that in the lower third of the nose, you're just far less likely to cause that. It's theoretically possible anyway, because all these vessels are connected, but we are safer than where we would be doing a normal non-surgical nose job. I'm also going to point the needle in the opposite direction as much as I can, so that flow of my product is into in theory, in a more safe direction. We'll aspirate a lot. I'm using a product that aspirates extremely well. I've tested it. It's one of the best aspirating products, Duradent Volift. The softer G-prime product also protects me from one of the side effects which may occur, which is pressure causing redness. So if you get redness that doesn't go away, that could be that there's just a little bit too much pressure, and the way your body accommodates is by dilating the vessels. And that's a bit more likely with a thicker product. This little V shape around each of the crease of the cartilage is what we're trying to blend in. So it meets in the middle. I'll often do one injection that runs right along the midline. And as you get close to the tip of the nose, there are actually fewer and fewer vessels, but they are capillaries. So I'm not actually going to move very much. I'm going to aspirate, give it time, and then do a little bolus. I'm watching that skin very carefully, and then I'll come out. So that's already reconnected that a little better. So I want to get this little V shape here. I want to point away from the lateral nasal artery. Vessels are getting smaller. Sorry. Nice long aspiration. Little squirt to fill it, and then come back out. Aspirate again. And again. Little squeeze to get the shape I want. Nearly done this bit. And same again. Sorry. Here's a sensitive spot. Now filler came out the pore, which is quite common in noses. But the one thing I like about it is it means it's not going into a blood vessel, so we can feel reassured. Check capillary refill as we're going, everything's fine.